Howdy. Remember how last video I said I'd try to warn you if Toby put out some kind of weird patch that shakes up our understanding of the Chapter 5 weird route? Well, you'll never guess what happened right after I uploaded. Holy congredero, there's a patch? And a newsletter? Oh no. Now I have to make a follow-up. Spoilers? Obviously. So, what's new in this small patch, known as version 0.0.253? Well, let's see. Pink's bombs can now be adjusted with a difficulty slider. Some of the glitches and softlocks related to the secret bosses have been fixed. Oh, and apparently they fixed dozens of minor bugs and visual issues. But I'm sure that's not related to anything I've been talking about. Ha. Haha. What? Oh no, that wasn't on purpose? I thought they set the face animations to update during this part here, specifically because they wanted to make the weird route cutscene look different. It seemed like such an elegant way to do it. But I'm not actually a coder. I'm just a loaf of bread using trial and error to brute force an understanding of how things work around here. So, I guess something like this was bound to happen eventually. What's interesting to me is Toby clearly knows this cutscene is causing some confusion and took the time to revisit it. But you know what he hasn't changed? The ominous cancel jingle. It still doesn't play when you fail to proceed at the lake scene, and there's absolutely no way he's not aware of it by now, so this has to be intentional, right? Heck, he even put out some behind-the-scenes footage that all but confirms that the ominous cancel sound lying dormant in the platforming segments code was always just there as a placeholder for testing purposes. And everything about Susie's part of this cutscene seems to be the same as it was before the patch too. She definitely still notices that something is up. So, combined with this cryptic news statement in his recent newsletter about how we will begin to see the results of the setup that has been made so far, it really sounds like we're going to be facing the consequences of our actions next chapter. And I am as certain as I can be that some of this will involve the choices relating to a failed weird route, even if the fandom ultimately decides it's not significant enough to be distinguishable as a unique route. And, in addition to all that, there is actually another secret update that seems to imply that the weird route will indeed be completely skipping Chapter 6, but to talk about it, I'm gonna have to catch some of you up on something obscure. Back in 2022, while we were still waiting around for Chapter 3 to be released, Toby ran a charity event called the Spamton Sweepstakes, which was both a fundraiser for Child's Play and a secret ARG that dropped lots of little teasers and foreshadowing for future chapters. One of the hidden pages seems to be a roadmap for the weird route, as it displays what appear to be chapter numbers which link you to teasers of some weird route-related content specific to each chapter. Chapter 2 plays the same music from this cutscene right before Noelle freezes Birdley. Chapter 3 contains a sound from the Sword Route game, which seems to be acting as a sort of thematic analog of the weird route. Chapter 4 contains the red dot, shown when you think about Noelle after re-equipping the Thorn Ring, amongst other things. And Chapter 5 contains a snippet of Happy Town, which is the song that plays when you walk around with Susie in this route, before going to see Noelle. You can also type the chapter number into the URL, which will reveal not applicable for Chapter 1 and not applicable, but for Chapter 3. It seems like the size of each number here correlates to how much weird route-related content each chapter contains. So, Chapter 1 has none, so it's basically microscopic. Chapter 2 has the most, so it's the largest. Chapter 4 has a little, and Chapter 5 has more than Chapter 4, but less than 2. You may also notice that some of the numbers are using black font on a black background, basically making them invisible. Some have theorized this to be related to whether the weird route takes place in the light world or the dark world. But personally, I suspect it has more to do with whether our choices in that chapter impact the weird root, as in chapters 2, 4, and 5, we actually have choices we can make that set various weird root-related flags, and thus influence future chapters, while in chapters 1 and 3, there's seemingly very little to do in that regard. Although, of course, that but in chapter 3's page certainly creates a lot of wiggle room for theorists. Regardless, because every page accessible from here seems to be, in some way, related to the weird root, you may be interested to hear that it's been updated recently. You see, this is what it looked like in 2025. And this is what it looks like now, as of August 5th, 2026. What? You don't see the difference? Scroll down. Little more. And bam. 7b. Seems chapter 7's weird root might be so big that it's practically its own brand new chapter in need of a progress update. Looks like the maps and cutscenes are almost done, but the bullet segments and bug testing still have a ways to go. But anyways, you know what I find very interesting about this update? There's no chapter 6 literally anywhere on this page. Not in some super tiny hidden font, not in the website's code. Not even if you try typing chapter 6 directly into the URL. So I think we can go ahead and put our theories regarding chapter 6 having a weird root to bed, because all available evidence seems to strongly point toward the weird root, literally skipping over chapter 6. Which makes the cutscene when you regroup with Ralsei in the shattered root particularly interesting, because it seems to imply that he thought he'd never see us again, especially when you pair it with the hidden dialogue accessible near the school. But I know what you're really wondering. This potted plant. In my last video, you may have noticed one of its pixels got stuck during the scene where Chris dives into the onsen. So is this one of the minor visual issues to be fixed? Nope. Head.